Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 13, Hidden Clues. One thing about the Kingdom episodes is most of the clues are revealed by the end of the episode, so there's not a lot of future things that are going to happen. These are going to focus a little bit more on, did you see that right before it happened, or did you hear it? Warning, this will contain hidden clues and predictions, so if you don't want to know what happened last week, do not continue to watch. So we'll start out with the first segment, which is We Saw That Coming. So early on, we get a shot from the future. I know you all saw the one cantaloupe, but did you notice Benjamin was missing from the scene, and also the pool of blood in the back of the truck? We saw one of the knights wheeling a wheelbarrow, actually had 12 cantaloupes in it, but one of the cantaloupes actually rolled to the side, foreshadowing that the one cantaloupe was going to be important. Benjamin pays a visit to Morgan, brings his book back, actually leans over, leaves it on the table. That was definitely foreshadowing that Benjamin would no longer have a need for that book as well. And Richard, right after he killed the walker, we'll talk about it in a second, did you notice when he went over to the grave, the shopping carts and also the bucket up on the top, the recycling bin? We know we saw the recycling bin later on in Morgan's Clear episode, but did you catch it the first time when Richard actually walked around the corner? That would have told us a lot of what we need to know about the episode. How about Gavin actually going to the back of the truck and counting the melons before he tells Ezekiel and company he's going to need the weapons? Had he told him he needed the weapons first, could have been a fight or skirmish broke out, and maybe the saviors would have been on the short end of the stick, so to speak. Life and death. There was so much symbolism throughout this episode, and when someone died, it seemed like something was planted or something came back to life all of a sudden. So Carol, very first scene, we saw her hit the walker. She actually hit the walker in the arm. Maybe she was a little rusty, or she might have been doing that to mark her territory. As she comes back, we do find out the walker was killed, so it served its purpose. How was it killed? We see something stuck right through the head. It is the shape of the point of a shovel, and you guys probably noticed the next scene, Richard walks around the corner, has a shovel in his hand, is burying his daughter's backpack. Later on in the episode, we go to Carol's humble abode. She's out in her garden planting tomato seeds. The truck screeches up, and Benjamin is laying on the table uttering his last words, life to death once again. Now, how about vice versa? Death to life. We get Navila with the scene with Ezekiel. The epic line here was, I just pissed myself, but she also breaks the news to Ezekiel that the royal garden has been taken over by weevils. If you're not sure what a weevil looks like, it is this, and they are for all types of fruits and vegetables. So we know that they have to pull up the royal garden, and they have to burn these things to get rid of it. But later on, at the end of the episode, we see them replanting the royal garden. So death and then life once again. A lot of symbolism. Did you listen very closely? Because some of the lines here told us exactly what was going to happen before it happened, and we can analyze what could have happened. Morgan tells Carol, we can leave for Alexandria right now. If they would have left right then, Richard would still be alive. How about a little bit later on? Benjamin walks up to Carol and wants to know how she does her thing, and he says, we have a drop today, but I can miss it. Carol says, no, go do your drop. If Benjamin would have went with Carol, Benjamin would still be alive. So we have both scenarios. And then a little bit later on, we had Morgan talking to Richard, where he looks out at Benjamin, his little brother, and said, the kid is too young to be a father. Those are definitely, that's a death sentence right there. Anytime that happens, we knew that Benjamin was going to die. And I saw the sign. There were multiple uses of signs throughout the episode. At the very beginning, we saw Carol with a one-way sign. We thought that was a coincidence, but it is shown a little bit later on. We'll talk about that in 1 second. How about Morgan and Carol's relationship? Are they strangers? We'll look over right shoulder. Definitely says they're strangers. But later on in the episode, Carol actually tells Morgan, you can go, but not go, so you can basically stay at my cottage while I go hang out with King Ezekiel at the kingdom, get ready for war. Morgan at one point looks like he's going to do the unthinkable. He's actually standing in the grave, looks like he's going to cut his wrist, and then he goes into clear mode, and we see a sign that says family in the background, our flashbacks of Morgan's family, what saved his life. And as Carol goes back to the kingdom, we do see the one-way sign once again. It's symbolic that there is only one way, and that one way is straight ahead and get ready for war. And now to the Bullfighter and all the things that Morgan has yet to become. We saw Benjamin visit Morgan, and he brought him the painting with the Bullfighter that he had framed. And throughout this episode, we actually saw this sort of gradually develop where Morgan's going to get into that rage mode. Remember, after Richard got Benjamin killed, Morgan is sitting there, and this is symbolic of the Bullfighter the night before, the nerves and thinking about how it's going to go the next day. I'm not a big fan of animal cruelty, but you can see the two spears in the back of the bull, and you can see actually Morgan's shadow there and the two sticks laying on the ground with the blood in the background. Definitely kind of hit home to me. And bullfighting is all about making a public spectacle for an audience, and that's exactly what Morgan did with Richard. He needed to show off in front of everybody to gain their confidence and to gain their favor. Leave your thoughts and comments below. And certainly at the very end, we saw Morgan sharpening his stick. Once again, that just shows that Morgan's not going to use the blunt weapon. He's actually going to have the point, and he's ready for war. And lastly, I want to ask all of you, is Ezekiel still the king? Now, I know he's going to be leading the kingdom, but we saw that Jerry got hit in the head, and he said, don't interrupt the king. Are all the things that are going on outside, all the distractions, Has that been taken away from Ezekiel's leadership? At the very end, when Ezekiel's speaking to Carol, he's speaking to her in a normal voice. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. Are they starting to transition Ezekiel from King Ezekiel to more of a regular fighter like everyone else? Are they going to get rid of all the pomp and circumstance in the background and just focus on the mission at hand? Thanks everyone for watching. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 13, Hidden Clues. My name's Killshot. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Peace.